All right, so the S2000 got supercharged and the clutch started slipping right away. So we're gonna upgrade the clutch. Now there's a lot of clutch kits out there. You got Clutch Masters, I think they're the ones that makes the FX300. You got competition clutch, different stages, Exetti, this, that, ACT has a full-blown kit. But I did a lot of research, and the tried and true way, the proven way, unless you're doing crazy torque numbers or power numbers, which on a Honda S2000, if you're supercharged like me, the torque is always going to be a little bit on the lower side. So the car put down, what, 345 or 346, give or take, wheel horsepower and 220 wheel torque. We're going to try and get a little bit more out of it pretty soon. We're having a minor issue with the Craftsworks supercharger. I'm not going to go too in depth. We'll wait till things get situated. What people usually do when they upgrade, if they have an AP2, it's the OEM disc with the OEM Nachi. These are the parts that Honda uses. Pilot bearing and throw-up bearing. I'll put the numbers on screen. I'll put the link in the description. I think I got them off eBay or Amazon. These two OEM parts, OEM disc, and then you go with the ACT HD, I think it stands for heavy duty, pressure plate. And usually they go down to the AP1 flywheel. Now why? Because the AP2 flywheel, from recollection, is 21 pounds, where the AP1 is only 14 pounds. So you save a good amount while still being OEM. Now back in the day, that might have been better because an OEM part might not have been as expensive, the AP1 flywheels, but now the AP1 flywheels are getting very difficult to come by. So instead, what I'm doing is ACT lightweight flywheel. Now mind you, they got two versions. This one is the street light, not the pro light. The pro light, let me just put this down. The pro light is an insane 8 to 8.5 or something pounds, where the street light right here is about 11.5. I think they'd mark it as 11.3, about 11.5 though. So 21 pounds AP1, 14 pounds, sorry, 21 pounds AP2, 14 pounds AP1. The AP1 is like $500. This was more affordable, and it's 11.5 pounds almost. So ACT, street light, flywheel, and then the tried and true ACT, what do they mark it? Yeah, H021, heavy duty pressure plate. That's what we're gonna do. Nachi OEM throw-up bearing and pilot bearing. Honda OEM disc. I know a lot of people say that might not hold up, but this package right here, let it be if you want to go with the AP1 flywheel and resurface one and find one used. You could substitute that for, I guess, another flywheel. But the rest of this setup right here being mostly OEM with just the ACT pressure plate, whatever flywheel you want to do, keep your OEM AP2, whatever you want to do. People say it holds up to 300 wheel torque, 500 wheel horsepower. That's pretty intense. That's a good numbers for an S2000. And to still have the drivability where you can get behind the wheel, go for a cruise, and not feel like you're in this race car style car. Because I've had a 6-puck clutch in my old Evo. I had a twin disc in another Evo. The 6-puck was definitely aggressive. The twin disc was an Exetti. People say that they're awesome. I don't know. Me personally, yeah, maybe it wasn't heavy, but it was an on-off switch. That was it. There was no releasing, waiting for the catch point. You had to give it some throttle. You had to rev it to get the car moving. That was just the way it was with the twin disc Exetti in my Evo. So a setup like this, haven't driven it yet, but from what people said, should be very driver friendly, very similar to OEM, with a little bit of a heavier clutch pedal feel and a semi-OEM, I guess you can say, feel to the engagement. It might be a little bit stronger, but it won't be too crazy. Now the lightweight flywheel is probably going to take into effect with drivability as well. That's why I didn't want to go. Piece of cardboard just fell behind the camera. Didn't knock it down. I literally just landed right in front of it. The flywheel, lighter flywheel, is going to make the revs freely rev up when you're blipping the throttle to rev match. It's going to make it easier. It's going to make it feel better. The downside is when you upshift, the revs are going to drop real quick. You go with an 8-pound flywheel, one of those more race-inspired flywheels, it's going to make daily driving pretty hard from what I've heard. You literally need to like shift super quick, even though you're just casually driving. So I wanted to go AP1, 14 pounds, but hey, 11.5, I think it's going to be a good middle ground as well. It's going to be lightweight. It's going to make the driving experience a little more sporty, but hopefully not too crazy with the upshifts. I'll come back and let you guys know when this is in the car, obviously. So if you're interested in a more like review after in the car, then subscribe, stay tuned. We're gonna have the car on the dyno again. We're gonna install these parts, and then we'll be back for more. So if you're interested in some content on the S2000, supercharged S2000, Tiger Type S, which is outside, the Prelude right here, which I'm gonna wrap soon, got some ideas and stuff modified for this too. Stay tuned, subscribe, follow on Instagram, and check out drivendistrict.com. These two ACT parts will be on there. I'll link in the description, the other stuff. We got a bunch of performance parts and merch on the website. Great way to support the channel. Appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.